Alright, so here's another location that on first glance doesn't look that amazing, but what I'm looking for is, again, you don't need the entire location to look fantastic to make it work. So here I've spotted the stairs, and what I love to do whenever I'm working with male or female models is give them an opportunity where I can sit them down and have them leaning forward and giving them something to do. So stairwells are amazing for that, and this is like stairwell, neutral colour. We've got a bit of advertising, we've got the some guff around and you know, but it's not everything that I need.
A great tip when you're scouting locations is to think about how your lens sees in terms of the angle of view. And the more you do this, the more confident you'll become when you're doing this. And so you can look at a location like this where we've got the stairwell, and then to camera left, there's all this guff, tables, etc., and camera right, I've got the sign, I've got foliage, I've got gas meters. It's a hot mess. But knowing that when I'm shooting very long, the angle of view becomes a lot narrower, and then I can actually choose my locations based on the small little section that I need. So in this instance, I'm just going to be photographing using my very long lens and capturing this very narrow angle of the stairs, and that's all I need. And that's something that, if you're particularly when you're taking a client around, is something that you need to educate them about and say, I know you see all this mess, let me do a test shot and I'll show you exactly what I mean.
I'm going to get Blake up on the stairs, and I'm working with colours that are going to contrast. This grey against his blue eyes is going to look amazing, and I've also got Blake in a bit of blue that's going to work well with his colouring as well, because that makes the eyes hot. So I'm going to get him up to just so that he's a little bit higher than me, and that's the thing, because I want him to look really heroic and powerful, and if I set him down lower, then I'm shooting down onto him, and then suddenly he's not the hero of the frame, the viewer is, because we're looking over him. So we want him slightly above. So what I'm going to do is get him about here. All right, now with crutches it gets a bit technical, so
Okay, I'm just going to cut in here for a sec and let's have a little chat about how to photograph crutches. So whenever I'm shooting someone and I'll photograph them with their crutch directly facing the camera, this is a bold, strong power move. It can also be quite sexual in nature, so you want to think about who the audience is that you're photographing. Now, one thing I like to do to soften this pose is use a few techniques like hand in front of the crutch, just to diffuse the look and not make it as overt. If I want to create a stronger look, I will have the hands away from the camera. Now you can see that just by changing the position of the legs, see how it closes off the energy and suddenly she looks small, whereas in this image she looks super powerful and she totally owns the shot. Now, if you want to soften this kind of pose, but you still want that strong legs, apart, knees apart, and that strong look, then sometimes I just will angle the crutch slightly away from camera, and that softens the whole look. So as a general rule, if you're going crutch directly to camera, you can soften, minimize that just by using your hands or something like that to cover the crutch, and I'll do that for males and females. And also you can soften it by just angling the crutch away from camera. Now, one thing to think about is you're in a position where what on earth do you do with the hands? And there's a number of things. My favorite trick is to get the model to pretend there's a ring on their little finger and they play with that. or they can pretend that there's something on their hands, that they're actually rubbing their hands together. But you want to avoid hands tightly clasped in the frame, because that can show you that your model is uptight. So always pay attention to the hands and what they're doing, and give them something to do, because that will allow you soft hands and having something to do.
So he's just like, he just has to turn slightly away, and I'm not shooting straight into the crutch. No, that's how you had it. And if you allow someone to sit, you show them the pose, but then you allow them to get into it and make it their own and get more comfortable, that's going to look a lot better. So Blake has now interpreted that pose in his own way, so that he's owning the pose and he feels a lot more comfortable. So that's all looking really good. Now, natural light, it's flat, even lighting. I've got everything that I need. I'm going to focus on his skin tone, meter off his skin tone to get a reading. So, and just come in, and I'm shooting very narrow. So if I get to, where am I at? 135, that'll just give me, I lose all of this scuff here. ISO, I'm at f2.8, and so I've determined I want my background out of focus. I've got set my ISO. Now I'm going to adjust my shutter speed to get the right exposure, and I just want to be slightly overexposed for his skin tone to give a nice look. So my meter reading at 400, shutter speed of 400 is quite lovely. So what's really nice is the light's coming from camera left across his face. The wall is like a mid-grey, and what's really cool about that is when you've got a dark colour, this is absorbing the light. So what we're getting is we've got the light coming in here, and you can see that there's like a split. It gets to here, and if this was a white wall, it would bounce back in, but it's not. We're getting like, it's moody, it's starting to look like a studio shot, which is very, very cool. It models the face, so that's really nice. If I wanted to balance out the lighting, all I needed to do was get a white fill or a silver fill, and I'd even that out, and he'd have much flatter lighting on his face. But I really like the moody look that this is giving us, so I'm going to stick with that, but I will show you how it looks if we balance it out. So it actually looks really cool. Very cool like that. Alright. So there he is. Very nice. And so, Blake, just with your right leg, just bring it into camera. Yeah, because I didn't want to crop into his, that's good. And just just lean forward on your, that's it, and just hang out, relax. Good. That's beautiful. Very nice. And just maybe rub your hands together, hanging out, that's it. Not quite, just a little bit softer, That's great. Just your head, just cock it this way, that's it. Now I just want your eye line to be out over there. Forget about us, you're just hanging out where happening, yeah, that's it. That's great. Eyes to me, great. Okay, just let your hands hang now, just let them just relax, that's it. Chin down just a little bit, great. That's good. And this eyes out there, beautiful. Alright, now if I wanted this shot to look even moodier, I'm just going to increase my shutter speed.
Oh, don't tell me we're doing walk on.
And now it's complete split lighting, which is moodier again. And I can increase my shutter speed again and just expose for the highlights. So I've now gone up to 800, and that's a big difference. If I go back to where I was and bring a reflector in, and we'll just hold it up against the far wall. So on the silver side, just to show you. Now we're filling in the other side of his face, and we can see where we've got a much more even look. The other thing we can do is in this position I can now get a headshot. So, and I'll just show you the difference. So I'm now at a focal length of 200 and right back, filling the frame. Okay, so that's with the silver reflector, which is nice and balanced. Alright, and now we're going to take the silver reflector out. Good. And that's showing you with the modelling in the face. Beautiful. And now we're going to bring the silver reflector just under his chin. And I'll just get you to hold it for me, Blake. Oh, that's nice. No, that's good. That's it. And that's a different look again. That's just lighting back, and you can see those beautiful catch lights that we're nearly blinding Blake with. That's strong. That's lovely. And that's a really nice light for a headshot. And it's like also the other thing that's really good about stairs is it's a nice shape for the body for a headshot. So I've come in, and in the one shot I've got a full length shot, a headshot, and if I wanted to I could come in and get a 3/4 shot. So there's 3 different images in the one location, and we haven't had to move around a lot, so it works really well. And also 3 different lighting styles in the one location.